Can the Hurriyat still claim to be a peaceful organization? Can the Hurriyat still claim to be a political organization? The group of separatists, those who are trying to resolve the Kashmir issue, representing the will of the Kashmiri people after their own have been unmasked, trying to foment trouble in the valley. Arisan Singh, if I can come to you, the change that we are seeing in the valley right now, of course, in the last few years, is the way this entire struggle, the entire so-called struggle for freedom has been converted into an Islamist struggle. There are those like Zakir Musa, those who are calling, the entire creation of an Islamic state, an extension of the IS in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. At these times, when you see an officer being lynched right outside the residence and the office of Mirwais Umar Farooq, now what should be the next step against the top leaders of the Hurriyat? It just can't be these 7 people or these 8 people. The time has come to unmask the Gilanis, the Yasin Maliks and the Mirwais as well.
Oh, they should have been put in solitary confinement by provisions of law long back. But the agencies were there, the apparatus was there, the laws are there, but I think earlier there was no political will. So they should have been behind bars, much long ago. But the fact of the matter is that I want the country to understand one thing, that it is basically, it is Pakistan's fight for territory. The Pakistan military establishment is not doing it because it wants to, assimilate Kashmiri Muslims. They have absolutely no love lost for them. If they have no love lost for Baluchis or Sindhis, what love will they have for the Kashmiris? So it is a fight for territory. The Chinese are also, interfering directly, indirectly, because for the lust of territory, because of imperatives of territory, and jihad is only a tool. So these Hurriyat these are proxy soldiers to ensure that this, the status of this territory changes.
Yes.
So when you start treating it as a territorial problem, as a problem of territorial integrity of India, all your options will be in the right place. Okay. For God's sake, I have heard enough of this hearts and minds and this, and psychological warfare and the development, and wean away the youth, take them all around the country on a jaunt to show what is India. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. It is a problem of territory. It is a problem of territorial integrity, and you have to treat it as such.
Yes.
One minute.
Go ahead. Quickly finish your point.
Did Pakistan attack the Kargil heights because it wanted the Shias of Kargil? It wanted territory. And the same discourse should be here as far as the valley is concerned.
Okay. Brigadier Mahalingam, when the NIA goes into the court and says that they have credible evidence to show that along with Hafiz Saeed, who has been pumping money in the valley, these separatists are not only using that money, they are the channel that is funneling not only the stone pelters but also helping terrorist group like Hizbul Mujahideen. Is it time that stringent sections should be put against them? How can we still, call them as political warriors? They are no longer political warriors. They are hardcore terrorists if they support terrorists.
First of all, I don't understand who these people are, because they represent nobody. For some unknown reason, people have made them leaders. And then you have political leaders like Farooq Abdullah, who wants people to go and talk to this Hurriyat people. First of all, there is no business, there is no requirement. These people must be recognized as money launderers. These are the people who have been supporting the terrorists. These are the people who have been funding the stone throwers. These are the people who have been, above everything else, preventing the small traders,
yes,
the business people, the other, the sort of tourist operators from functioning there and earning their livelihood.
Yes.
Those people are suffering. And because of the security situation today, no industries have come up, and as a result, there are no jobs available.
Absolutely.
I mean, these people are responsible for all these. These are crimes against people of Jammu and Kashmir.
You know, Lalit, if I can just take the point forward. In fact, as we've been discussing, I mean, these are the people, those who do not represent the will of the Kashmiris. They only claim to. Now, when there is clear chain of evidence showing that they not only support the stone pelters, funnel money for them, they are also supporting the people, the terrorists like Hizbul Mujahideen, and also actively participating in terror funding. Now, with such people, with such evidence clearly with the government of India, shouldn't it be time that they treated as terrorists, and they should be in fact put behind bars under stringent sections?
Exactly. You have to understand the anatomy of Kashmir Jihad. Kashmir Jihad is like jihad anywhere in the world. Nowhere in the world is jihad treated as a political problem. It's a military problem. And what we have been doing all these 27 years, despite the fact that Kashmiri Hindus were subject to the genocide by these very Kashmiri Islamists, because they symbolize Indian presence in Kashmir, these guys have been mollycoddled by the Indian state, Indian academia, and section of the media. And now at this stage, when these guys, the jihad is mutating into something else. At this time, let me tell you something. I want to share something very interesting with you. These guys, they may find themselves to be safer in the custody of Indian security agencies, because the new Takfiris have come up in Kashmir now. That's the latest stage the Kashmir Jihad has entered. These Takfiris are going to decide who is a real Muslim. And these guys are going to face the brunt. Zakir Musa types are there roaming in the streets of Kashmir now. They're going to take them head on.
Yes.
Because these guys have been rearing snakes and scorpions there. They're going to face the bite now. Therefore, yes, it's very important. These guys deserve to be treated, because they are responsible for founding Kashmir Jihad on behalf of Pakistan in the name of Islam in Kashmir. And Wahhabi Sunni Islamism inspired Kashmir Jihad is a problem not only for Kashmir. I tell you, they have eyes on Lal Killa in Delhi. Kashmir is a mere passage for them to reach Lal Killa. So therefore, India stands challenge. We need to be very harsh and very tough against these people to contain this menace of Kashmir Jihad.
RSN Singh, you have been an advocate, a vocal supporter. You've been saying again and again that this is not a political problem. Now, what would you like to say to those who say that, if you try and you go hard against these separatists, against the Hurriyat, the repercussions would be deadly as far as the Kashmir Valley is concerned? They are only saying that it will be fueling more unrest.
Yeah, on the other hand, the ramifications, increasingly on the rest of India is what happening in Kashmir is becoming increasingly dangerous. For example, let me tell you, events in Kashmir had reverberations in southern part of India. And there is a new organization which has allegiance to ISIS. It carried out a series of attacks in court premises in Tamil Nadu and Kerala. And then, they said that they are taking revenge for what is happening in Kashmir. And then you had an exodus of 21 people,
yes,
joining the Islamic State in Afghanistan from Kerala.
Yes.
So you see this you see this route of reverberations.
Yes.
So that is what. And then you had this manifestation in Jawaharlal Nehru University. So for God's sake,
okay,
what are you waiting for? There is nothing called local jihad in this world, for God's sake. There is nothing called Kashmir Jihad in Kashmir. It is all global jihad, and that is why it is Zakir Musa, he spoke the truth.
Yes.
He said that nonsense. It is not a fight for Kashmiriyat. It is not it is a fight for Islam, and he chastised the Hurriyat leaders, saying that you are the people who...
From so far, this struggle, so-called struggle for freedom for Kashmiriyat has now become a radicalized Islamic struggle. Now, how should the government respond to it? Picking up these 7 people, of course, is the only first step. Now, what should be the next step as far as the government of India and the armed forces are concerned?
See, we must look at the entire thing as far as Kashmir is concerned. You must understand Syed Shah Ali Gilani, for example. He controls not just the Hurriyat faction, he controls Jamaat-e-Islami, which acts as a sort of the link between the people and these Pakistani elements. And also he controls Hizbul Mujahideen and Lashkar-e-Taiba inside the valley.
Yes.
Now the point is that we are absolutely oblivious to what is happening with these elements. The government will have to take note of this, and these elements which are creating problem there, who are providing the logistic support, who are issuing the protest calendars, and these will have to be eliminated, and in fact as a first step they must be sort of de-linked from the chain. Once that happens, you will not find any problem.
Lalit, very quickly, last word to you. Farooq Abdullah, the former Chief Minister, has said that, they still are the citizens of this country. They need to be engaged. If we ban Hurriyat, they'll go underground. It will be difficult to manage. What would you like to say to Farooq Abdullah?
Abdullahs are the original separatists of Kashmir. They have founded the roots of separatism in Kashmir. So therefore, I am not surprised by this man. Only other day, he was eulogizing those stone pelters and all that. The point is, Gilani is locally known as Osama bin Laden of Kashmir.
Absolutely.
Mir Wise, who's supposed to be a preacher, he's a moonlighting preacher. He's most of the time busy spreading, spewing anti-India venom from the precincts of mosque. So we have to recognize that, acknowledge that, and put them in their place, despite people like Farooq Abdullah, or even, I call it mainstream subversion. Despite their objections, if they object, please send them also where they belong to.
Thank you so much to all my guests. This is an important India Today expose that is setting the news agenda. The important thing now is the government has shown the will. It cannot stop at these 7. The masterminds now need to be unmasked, brought to justice. Thank you so much, all my guests, for joining me today on The Burning Question.